All done. All finished. Sold! Yeah, god damn, that's a lot of money. Welcome back to the Chase Card, all you Pokemon investors and or collectors alike. Today's video is a little bit different. I just wanted to quickly run through some of the booster box sales data for the month of February and a few from the first week of March, or about a week into March now. So just on eBay, some of the booster box sales prices, what the market's doing. A lot of you guys are sitting on sealed booster boxes and sealed product in the Pokemon market, and maybe you're thinking about selling some of your stock or even purchasing some to add to your collection. This video is really just to shine a spotlight on some of the recent sales so you can sort of stay in tune with the market, just to keep you abreast of what the market's doing. So without further ado, let's get into it and check out some of these recent sales on eBay. So getting straight into it, here's the Breakpoint factory sealed booster box selling for just shy of $700 US at $698.50. That's 1,071 Australian dollars. These will pretty much be in US dollars, American prices. Where they are in Australian prices, I'll put the US prices on the screen when I edit the video for you guys. I try and cater to my Australian neighbours and my American viewers by putting both US dollars and Australian dollars. If you're in any other country, I'm sorry I can't do every currency in the world. I really focus on the American prices and the Australian prices. Anyone else, the British pound for example, you have to do the conversion yourselves, I apologise. But there it is, the Breakpoint factory sealed booster box. So if you've got this in your collection, that's the sort of money you could expect to get if you sell it on today's market, or that's the sort of money you could expect to buy if you do want to add this to your collection. So that's the XY era Breakpoint booster box. Moving on, we had a sale of $681, $682 American for the Primal Clash booster box, which is 1,045 Australian dollars Primal Clash from the XY era. Next, we have an Evolutions booster box, which sold for Australian $1,100. I think that's around about $720 American dollars. Again, I'll put those prices on the screen in US dollars. So 1,100 Australian. These Evolutions booster boxes are still climbing recently. I saw these selling in Australia for 1,000 flat, 950 to 1,000 in the last couple of months, really. So they've gone up probably about 10% in the last couple of months, just here in Australia. So good result for Evolutions. I would like to pick one of these up at some stage. Moving on. Okay, this one's in British pounds. 7,600 pounds, I think that is, which is almost 15,000 Australian dollars, $14,840 for this Fossil First Edition booster box from 25 years ago, 1999. So almost $15,000. I think that's about 10 grand American. I'll put those prices up shortly. But there we go, some big money on some of these booster box sales. Next, $620 US for the Sun and Moon Unified Minds booster box, which is 950 Australian dollars. So yeah, Sun and Moon Unified Minds, $620. I think there's a couple of these coming up, a couple of different price ranges on Unified Minds booster boxes. I will repeat some of these booster boxes. There might be 2 or 3 of the same set that I'll show you guys, just so you can kind of compare what the market's doing. They're not all selling for exactly the same price, obviously. Some results are better than others. So that's 950 Australian dollars for the Unified Minds, 620 US dollars. Moving on from the Sun and Moon era, we have a Team Up booster box sale. 3,200 Australian dollars, which is pretty much bang on 2,000 American dollars. That's where the money is right now for the Team Up booster box from the Sun and Moon era. About 12 months ago, this thing was selling for 1,000 American. It's doubled in price in the last 12 months. So Team Up booster box, really sought after. People love this set, love this collection, and the market price is really reflective of that. So there's a recent sale for the Team Up booster box, guys. Next, from the XY era, we have a Furious Fist booster box selling for Australian $1,525. Oh, you're challenging me on the numbers on the conversion here now to US dollars. I think it's about 1,000. I might be off on that. US dollars. I think it's about 1,000 US dollars, maybe 950. Those prices will go up by the time I put this video online anyway. So there we go, Furious Fist booster box doing really well from the XY era. Ancient Origins, also from the XY era, getting a similar price to Furious Fists at 1,505 Australian dollars. Again, I think that's around 950 to 1,000 American. Hopefully I'm not too far off with these prices, but you get the idea. Ancient Origins booster box sale. These are all from February. Some of them are sort of the first week of March. So all these booster box sales are within the last 5 weeks. Just to keep you guys abreast of what the market's doing, the booster box Pokemon market. So this 2016 Breakpoint booster box from the XY era, selling for $675. Hot dog, that's a good result. 1,035 Australian dollars for my Australian neighbours watching this. Breakpoint booster box. So what are we? Basically 8 years old. So that would have been, you would have made probably 3.5 times your money, I'm guessing, on this booster box in the space of 8 years. So not bad, 350% or so increase in your investment. So not a bad result for the Breakpoint booster box. Cosmic Eclipse. I have a few of these on the list. They're varied in price a little bit, some of these sales, but this one's probably the stronger one, I think, that I've got to show you. Selling for $900 US, this Cosmic Eclipse booster box from the Sun and Moon era. That's 1,380 Australian dollars, guys. Really strong result for this Cosmic Eclipse booster box. I think the other ones are a bit cheaper. We're going to go through all the Cosmic Eclipse right now just to knock them out. So that was $900, $899. This one's $850, so $50 cheaper, basically. 1,300 Australian dollars. This one came in the, well, they call it the Ultra Pro case. It's an acrylic protective case. This one was sold with. So there you go. I think they're worth about 25 to 40 bucks on their own. So there you go. $850 for that Cosmic Eclipse. And now down to $781 for this Cosmic Eclipse. So we had 900, 850, and now 780. So a bit of contrast in the sales results for Cosmic Eclipse. So that's just shy of 1,200 Australian dollars, 11.97 Australian for this Cosmic Eclipse booster box. And then another one. This is like the fourth one. So $875. So probably the second best sale for Cosmic Eclipse in the last 5 weeks. $875 US, being 1,340 Australian dollars. Right, Cosmic Eclipse is done. We're done with Cosmic Eclipse. There was 4 Cosmic Eclipse to show you. Good to bad. Alright, $1,200 for this XY Primal Clash booster box. That's 1,200 Australian dollars, this one. US prices. Oh, brain strain. I think that's about $800 American. 1,200 Australian. I'll put those prices up soon on the screen. I'll probably sound like a broken record, but I'll put all those US prices up where they're not showing here. So 1,200 Aussie dollars for the Primal Clash booster box. Not a bad result. This Breakthrough booster box from the XY era, selling for 1,220 Australian dollars, 800 US dollars. So what did I say on that last booster box? 1,200 Australian. I thought was 800 US. That's pretty much spot on. See, I'm getting to know these US dollar conversions. So 800 US dollars for the Breakthrough booster box. 1,226 Aussie dollars. Roaring Skies. Okay, this one. Let's view original listing. Blah blah blah. $800. Roaring Skies booster box from the XY era, selling for $799.99. That's 1,226 Australian dollars for the Roaring Skies booster box. Next, we have a Plasma Storm booster box. We're getting into some more expensive booster box sales now. God dang, that's a lot of money. $6,500 US for the Plasma Storm booster box. For my Aussie friends, that's $32 shy of 10,000 big ones. 10,000 Australian dollars for the Plasma Storm booster box from the that's the XY. Oh, that's the black and white era. Okay, I was thinking of Ultra Prism. Yeah, Plasma Storm, black and white era. 6,500 American dollars. Huge result there, guys. Unified Minds from the Sun and Moon era, selling for 687 American dollars, 1,054 Australian dollars. Unified Minds. I think this Unified Minds booster box is really going to perform this year. It's probably, I think, the second best set, the second most capital growth from the Sun and Moon era. $950, we have an Evolutions booster box. 950 US dollars. That's 1,400 Australian dollars. That's really high, actually. That's really high. I've been seeing the Evolutions booster box selling in Australia for 1,000 Australian, which is 650 American, as recently as this year. So to see one selling for 950 US dollars, 1,450 Australian dollars, that's a huge jump. In fact, I've seen some in the last few weeks selling a lot cheaper than this. I'm not sure why this one got such a strong price, but kudos to the seller for getting such a strong result for that Evolutions booster box. This Evolving Skies booster box made the list, $660. All these booster boxes I'm showing you, I put a price criteria, a price range of 650 minimum American, about 1,000 Australian minimum. Otherwise, there's just too many to show you. I don't want to show you all the cheaper ones. I want to show you the ones that have started to climb in price quite well. So $660 for the Evolving Skies, $1,000 Australian. Again, Evolving Skies was selling like a month ago in Australia for $650 to $700 Australian dollars, which is about $450 American. So to see this Evolving Skies selling for over $1,000 Australian and 660 US, that's jumped up significantly just in the last month or two. So Evolving Skies still really performing well. This was an Australian sale, Celestial Storm booster box, 1,365 Australian dollars. I think we're talking about $850 to $900 American. Again, I'll put those prices on the screen afterwards. This is actually a guy I know in Sydney. I've bought plenty of booster boxes from this gentleman who I met after I started investing in Pokemon. I've bought a lot of product off him. He's a really nice guy. He's a genuine collector, a genuine investor. And yeah, that's a really good result for him. 1,365 Australian dollars for that Celestial Storm booster box. Ultra Prism booster box, US $714, sold recently. That's 1,100 Australian dollars, or 1,096 Australian dollars. Same, 1,100 bucks. So US 714 for the Ultra Prism booster box from the Sun and Moon era. Next, we have a big sale here. The Team Rocket from 2000, first edition Team Rocket booster box, selling for 8,903 American dollars, US dollars. That's 13,654 Australian dollars. Man, there's some serious investors and some serious collectors in this Pokemon hobby. Over 13,500, almost 9,000 US dollars for that Team Rocket. This seems to be a really, really popular vintage set. Whenever I'm watching YouTube videos myself on, people going to collector cons and trade shows and looking for vintage cards, there's always some dude chasing Team Rocket cards. It's a very popular vintage set, but I don't know if I'd be spending 13,500 Aussie dollars on one booster box. That's a big commitment. But again, kudos to the people in that transaction. I'm sure they're both happy. $630 for this Breakthrough booster box from the XY era. 630 US dollars. That's 966 Australian dollars. Next, we have a Team Up booster box selling for US $2,350, which is 3,600 Australian dollars. Team Up booster box. Definitely the best performing set from the Sun and Moon era. Next, we have from the XY era, Roaring Skies selling for 658. Let's not forget the $8. 658 US dollars, which is 1,010 Aussie dollars for the Roaring Skies booster box. Okay, we have another big one here, 9,700 Australian dollars, which is about 6,300, 6,400 US dollars for this 1999 Jungle Unlimited sealed booster box in an acrylic case. Of course, you'd put it in an acrylic case. You're talking about almost 10,000 Aussie dollars for a booster box. Again, really, really popular set. I thought these were actually worth a bit more. I'm not sure if these have gone up or down in value. I haven't been tracking the price on these vintage boxes. If you guys know if this is a good sale or a bad sale, let me know in the comments. I really don't track the vintage too much. But there you go, 9,700 Aussie dollars, almost 6,500 US dollars for that Jungle Unlimited sealed booster box. Next, we have a sealed booster box, the first movie Topps booster box. I think this is about 25 years old, selling for US $1,150. That doesn't seem like a lot of money for something so old, but I guess this is not one of the most popular vintage sets, obviously. But $1,150 US, 1763 Australian, 1,000 700 Australian dollars for the first movie Topps booster box. I really don't know much about that set, if I'm being honest, but there you go. There's that sale. And finally, the last but not least, did I say that right? I think so. The big kahuna, Neo Genesis. Look at this bad boy. Holy crap. Hot dog. That's some massive money. 34,000 US dollars for this Neo Genesis booster box, first edition booster box. For my Aussie friends, my Aussie neighbours, that's 52,000 Australian dollars for a box of cardboard. A very, very good box of cardboard. 36 amazing packets from the Neo Genesis era. Neo Genesis set, rather. 52,000, man, I can't even get my head around that. That's crazy money, right? To put that in perspective, here in Sydney, $52,000 would almost be enough to give you a deposit for an apartment, to buy an apartment in Sydney. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Man, that's a lot of money to spend on a booster box. 34,000 US dollars. So that's the biggest one I have to show you today. What do you think of these prices, guys? Are you happy with these prices? Are you disappointed? Does it make you want to sell? Does it make you want to buy more booster boxes? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Leave your feedback in the comments. Just thought I'd run through some recent sales data with you for something a bit different. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the support. I appreciate all the feedback. I'm loving it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.